Stefan Rapazzo back here with you. Ali Thomas joining me. Open action, elite invite Bologna. And we've got ourselves a matchup between Bad Skid and Gentle. Ali, how these teams been doing over the course of this weekend?
Bad Skid had a pretty tough loss yesterday against long-time rivals Wall City. This is the first time that Wall City have been able to beat them in quite some time, so that's probably going to be on their minds a lot. As for Gentle, they've also not had the easiest time this weekend, indeed this season, so both teams probably hungry for a win here in the glorious Italian sunshine.
Glorious Italian sunshine. Wind, as it's been on this field, swirly and tricky over the course of the weekend. But these elite players, they can deal with it. Dekrani spotted and shot for, but the defense eats up the Gentle offense, a one-throw offense, and Bad Skid get their first chance very early to break. Underneath now, Eddie. Swings across Pritch. Two-player game behind the disc, wide around now. Hiller goes big, but way too much on it, and now Gentle have potential to redeem their hold.
That's a shame. It looked like some really nice flow cutting through the Gentle defense very nicely, but I guess first point, adapting to the wind, these things do happen.
Van de Weg. Oh, and needs a little bit of help to keep that one alive. Veriken. The Belgians finished last year in fine form, but have struggled this year to find that same form. And that one too far in front of one of the standout players from last year, De Kraan. Bad Skid going the other way. Big shot sent deep. Hiller under it, but the defense steps in front and taketh away. Van de Weg gets his wide open option. Van de Moa and De Kraan, but it's gonna be sent back.
Looks like a pick call to stop play, our first call of this game.
Gentle. Oosterlink. Van der Voort. De Kraan shoots deep. Two receivers there. Only needed one of them. Gets Fuse for the goal, and Gentle do get on the board, eventuating a hold.
It's almost if as soon as De Kraan was on the disc, there were a couple of players on Gentle who were like, I know where this is going. He had two options open deep. We can see it here. Both of them going deep, and only one German defender, you can see there, just going to his knees to make sure he can get it safely in the breadbasket. And that's a break to start the game. Oh, no, I've put the wrong ones on. Not a break, a hold to start the game. There we go.
Hold to start the game. Couple turns to set up the hold to make it seem breakish.
first elite tournament of the year. There have been more turnovers than you might expect with the term elite in the title, but then again, for a lot of these teams, it's the first time they're testing kind of their strategies and their chemistry against other really high-level opposition.
And this field has just wreaked a bunch of havoc. It's been, I mean, weather's been reasonably nice, but there's a lot of wind coming through here, and it's not consistent at all. It's coming, it's going, it's blowing one way, it's blowing the other way, it's moving, swirly, gusty, all those adjectives about inconsistent wind. So it wreaking havoc is what it's doing as Bad Skid get going with their first O-line possession. Mueller takes the under. Hartman. Stall 8, gets it to Boyden Mueller. Wanted to go straight back to Hartman, but the defense covered up the opportunity. Volmer, back to Boyden Mueller to Mueller. Midfield. Boyden Mueller. Gets Mueller. Vola. Bad Skidder moving. A bid potential there, but not enough space to put the body on the line for it. Boyden Mueller gets space. Meters away.
A little bit of discussion on the field about positioning.
Back in play, Boyden Mueller's hands. Gets all of his cuts going into traffic, goes inside, and then the immediate release, but still not in. Dumps back to Schall. Schall finds space in the middle, and that is Hartman for the goal.
Just threading the needle there, finding the space in between the two defenders, and that's some very calm end zone offense from Bad Skid, who looked like they were having some really confident flow up the pitch. Couple of picks kind of stopping play, but managing to restart that flow. We'll see it here. There's the dump back. And then there's the sort of poach attempt block, but just a tiny bit too late. And so we are 1-all evens here.
Threading that needle, as you said. Fast moving pieces, tight spaces. Takes a little bit of practice to be able to pull that one off in those moments.
Especially when the conditions aren't absolutely still as they are here. We've had a lot of gusting. The upwind and downwind seems to be changing point to point, moment to moment. It's very hard to adapt to.
And pull out of bounds. Brick mark starting point.
A little bit of pointing, trying to figure out where exactly the brick mark is. It's not super clearly indicated.
It's a red spot on the field. It is quite clearly indicated,
Oh,
in fact. Veriken, I don't know, maybe they're not used to it, seeing one clearly marked on a field, perhaps. Wind picking up as Bad Skid take away the possession of the disc and then give it straight back. DeCran said, can I pick it up and throw it to myself? No, I better get upfield then. Van de Weg. Veriken. Under. Dumped. Over to Van de Weg. He shoots deep. Has a receiver. Space is good. Van de Vood cashes in the goal, and Gentle retain their lead. It's 2-1.
So it looked like Bad Skid got a turn by their own, their own force, their own initiative, and then turned themselves again by their own force and own initiative. So capitalized immediately by Gentle, who looked long, and these long shots from Gentle, again to double coverage, really paying off for them. They're adapting to the wind perhaps a little bit better than Bad Skid, at least in the early stages. Nothing
too clean about it. The turns are still coming.
Oh, but it's such a lovely shot, just perfectly weighted. And a very decisive spike there from Van der Woude. What are your thoughts on kick spikes, Stefan?
Why not? Don't break the disc. That's my only thing. Do whatever you want to do. Just don't bend the disc in the process. But I don't mind a good old kick spike.
Oh, offside.
Müller, offside. First time ever happened in the history of the sport. So wait a minute. Offside, they get the automatic brick mark. Is that how that works?
New rules, I think, yeah.
Wow. Keeping up on things. Müller with a nice break. Gets around, a little bit of contact, but Schall's got it. Schall goes in and around. Hartmann picks it up low. Back to his feet. Müller swings all the way around. Now to Müller. Bid comes, but not quick enough. Müller. Müller. Bad skid in the red zone. Two-player game. Müller do it again. Then they finally let somebody else play, and it's 57, Jonathan Schall with the goal.
Some absolutely incredible plays from Gentle there. What a heroic bid that was, but Gentle unfazed, able to keep the flow beautifully all the way into the end zone. We'll see it again here, just giving, going, looks around to see if he can throw it to him again, but then, as you say, decides to let somebody else have a turn. Just beautiful momentum.
All knotted up here at 2s. Bad skid were thought of as the third best team in Europe for quite some time behind that Kruspelafota and Clapham powerhouses at the top. With their superstar, Holger Müller, kind of propelling them into that third and possibly better. But with Holger out, Bad Skid have slipped into the mid-ranks. Still a very strong team, as our Gentle can get things done, but missing one of the superstars of this continental game certainly has some effect on their overall. As this shot goes deep, De Craan there, will it come back? No, it won't. He tried to toe the line, but not long enough a body even with him.
Yeah, trying to kind of flop into the path of the disc, but it was coming in just too steep of an angle. A Bad Skid with a chance to take a lead.
Cone kick, bringing it in on the sideline. Oh. That one always interests me. Schall. Swing across. Yes, sir. And the disc is moving for Bad Skid. They get some meters. Pitch it to end zone. Well read, misread, bobble dropped.
I think there was a little bit of help from Van Lerberger there, just dinking it. There we go, just to make sure that absolutely could not be caught. Really good heads-up play.
Aaron van de Weg, one of the multiple sets of siblings on this Gentle team, get things into play, and there is a travel rather, on the play. De Crane. Varikin havoc with those upline throws, gets it again. Van de Weg, near sideline. Oosterlink, forward into space. Van de Weg. Varikin. De Craan sees some space, goes for goal, and gets a nice catch to finish it off above the head. Gentle cash in for 3.
That was a very high throw for Wolf Oosterlink to take. I think potentially an extra half second to just set and get it a little bit flatter would have made it easier for him, but he was absolutely up to the task of getting up high. We'll see it here. Disc pops up, and then Oosterlink pops up to meet it. Well in bounds, defender nowhere near. Lovely score. So it seems like both teams are just kind of feeling each other out at the minute, seeing what the other one can do. Gentle obviously having a lot of success with their deep game, whereas Bad Skid kind of finding more success with the momentum, little give and goes. We'll see which one manages to stop the other's tactics first.
And another shout out. We love your support. New Patreon, Nikita Zetilov. Love your support. Thank you very much for continuing to subscribe and support our Patreon. It's what we need, and you definitely need the shout out to help make you feel just a little bit better about it. Even though you already had this great feeling, now we want to acknowledge it and make you feel even better still. Mueller walks it to the line. Met there by the defense. And the defense gets the better of that one, gets a hand on it, swats it away.
What a hand block.
Gentle, wide open dump, they have to take that. Lander de Crane. Upline cut engaged, just enough space to feed it. Oh, there's the corner cut, closes down, but enough room to slip it in. Cotton with the goal, Gentle with the break.
And you can see just how hyped up Gentle are about that. They are now 3-all according to the scoreboard, which is not correct. It is 4-2.
Been fixed quickly.
We'll get there, we'll get there. I think the wind is trying to equalize, but regardless, that is a big momentum shift and an incredible hand block. We've just seen it here, and then capitalizing immediately with those hard upline cuts, making that space, throwing into tight windows. Gentle absolutely in charge of this game at the moment, and Bad Skid, just like that defender, unfortunately trailing a bit behind.
So, as far as the rest of the day goes, we know for sure, as per our streaming schedule, the next game will be Yaka against Box, and the 3:20 or 15:20 match is our mixed semifinals, and we are pretty sure we know who we're bringing to you. I'm going to confirm as we go and bring you that info as this game progresses. For now, Bad Skid need a hold. Mueller to Hartman. Hartman straight back to Mueller. That one shot deep. Space. Defense has a little bit of time to catch up and just enough to get a tip.
Yeah, I think that was kind of in the eyes for the number 77 shirt. Unable to collect it with both the Sun and the defender in his field of vision.
Gentle, full field to play. De Crane with the top head dreadlocks, and there is a foul, no contest, with a stand on the foot incident. De Crane. Ooh, stuffed into a tight space there. They continue to make completions in very tight spaces. De Crane sends deep, has a receiver there, but the defense steps in front of Bad Skid coming the other way.
Charles making up for his earlier drop.
Schall again with the disc. Shall I throw a completion? Why not? To Boyton Mueller this time. Boyton Mueller winds up. Hartman there. De Crane says no and steps in front. De Stoop underneath. Timeout. Wisely so by Simeon. And a high turnover point here. And Belgium take the timeout.
I think that's probably smart. They've been having trouble working through the bad skid defense on this point in particular. So maybe just a chance to kind of get set, remind themselves what their offensive setup is, or maybe do something different to kind of throw the bad skid defense for a loop.
And so looking into the rest of this tournament, we know the semifinal in the mixed division will be Seskidistus undefeated versus Disconnection. That one will not be on the stream. What we will be streaming you is the other game, which brings you Guayota and Ketchup, Spain versus Austria, and those two matchups. That will be coming up after Yaka Box. Now you're informed.
Any word on the men's division or
well,
the open division rather?
We know for sure that, assuming Cusp and Clapham win their last game, they will both be in opposite semifinals.
Okay.
Who will they play is to be determined. This game could have something to play. Cusp is... Well, we'll get that information to you in a second. We've got to check our sources. So with both these teams taking losses to Wall City,
I would assume.
I believe that is the case. It will likely be both Wall City and Bologna going through, and that game will determine the 1-2 position. On the other side of the draw, Ranelagh, after giving away their lead against Clapham, will likely have some work to do to have a chance. We'll get you more info as it keeps coming. For now, Gentle, trying to stay alive, travel called. Here they come. Crossing the midfield line, Gentle, De Craan with the disc. Gets a nice inside to the center. Simeon keeps it alive. Destoop fakes the blade or the hammer. I'm not sure what would have come out there, but decides to throw it to Bad Skid instead.
Yeah, potentially a high stall situation, or he thought there was something developing better. And a huge huck goes up.
Shal cannot quite get there though. Big huck. Bad Skid has to huck.
And Oosterling is very hyped on the sideline, clapping and cheering his teammates as this point will continue on. Despite the timeout and the numerous turns, we are still not at an end here. Bad Skid looking to set up their offense once more.
So on the other fields, which are potentially the top seeds in the other two groups, both even scores. Bologna and Wall City are locked right now, as are KFK and Clapham. Early going in both of those games. Simeon, De Craan, Gentle, setting their offense. They've gone with the green jerseys rather than their Miami Heat mint and pink, which is their alternate option this year. Centering pass. De Stoop. De Craan. Oh, and Simeon's, that one goes under his hand. A little bit of wind playing with that. Bad Skid will set up a short end zone set.
Bit of a gift for Bad Skid here.
Just about at that brick mark. Mueller. Oh, gets some space. Great cut by Prisch. Throws to ground, and Boyden Mueller picks it up just off the turf.
What a pickup. His hand was ankle level, essentially. I'm amazed he didn't lay out for that. Bent almost double to keep it off the floor, and Bad Skid finally get their point after 2 concessions.
Could have untied his shoe on the way down to pick that one up. Decided to spend more of his focus and attention on just making the catch, wisely so. Counts for the goal. Back within 1, still needs some breaks to get back in it, but that one certainly helps.
And once you've got that score after a point that's had a lot of twists and turns, it's always a bit of a mental boost because the other team's worked so hard and it's all been for nothing, whereas you have worked and been rewarded.
Bad Skid to pull. Up and around. Shoots the big early, a couple of Bad Skid defenders and ill-advised huck in the end.
Yeah, it looked like Fuse was just a bit boxed in there by 2 Bad Skid defenders and wasn't given a lot of breathing space either to read the disc or to re-angle his line of attack.
Oh, and that one hit off the hands and goes to ground.
It's a shame, such a nice cut and such a nice break.
Van de Weg off the hands of Veriken and under some physicality there, but hangs on. Shate with a little bit of backpacking. Fake hammer. Into the stack. Call on the play.
I think just a foul by Herre there.
Under is there on the doorstep while 7 to 10 meters out here. Gentle, high stall count, but get the reset to Decran. A hard bounce off of the defender. He physically takes the space and then drops the disc.
Such a short pass. It's very hard to be accurate in that small window.
Shot deep. There is company, but the biggest man there does come down with it. Hiller gets it back, keeps it going. Shate. And again now on the doorstep, Bad Skid can really reverse this one. Big break to tie it up at 4. If they get this one, is it coming? Shate again. Timeout, and they will at least take a break to do what they can to ensure it.
I think that's a very sensible call from Shate there. This is their chance to equalize, make it 4-all, bring a little bit of equality back into this game. Their flow is looking really nice, despite Hiller having to sky his teammate there to keep the disc on his team's side. So we will see now what kind of end zone setup the Germans are going to put on. I am expecting a lot of laying out on the mark from the Gentle side. It's something they seem to be very fond of doing, just as Bad Skids seem to be very fond of almost getting a run through D instead of laying out for it. Some clapping from the Bad Kid side, but it's just one guy, nobody else is joining in with him. Go on, lads,
Clap,
keep him company.
Clap, 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 clap. Valkyria relishing in what is likely at this stage a tournament win. They have won. They beat the top 2 seeds. They're doing nothing but winning. Based on the way the results have gone, they're gonna win their next ones. They got to go and do it, but they'll do it without the glory that kind of comes with playing in a big game at the end of the tournament. the big game at the end of the tournament in that division is going to be for the silver medal, the way it has been drawn up.
Do you mean the bronze, or?
It would be basically for second place,
Assuming, I see what
assuming
you mean, yes.
Shout and Yaka continue to beat everybody else, and they've both lost to Valkyria. They will play in the last game on the stream.
I see.
But they will be playing to see who gets second place in that division.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Which still makes it the most interesting matchup of the last round. But it does take prediction to do this kind of stuff when you don't have a bracket round to finish. Back in. Shait with the disc. Oh, and needs all sorts of time to get Here open. 3 passes in. Here gets it back. Oh, little bit of closing of the space there, but chance in his hands. A little bit of space on the mark. Now it gets tighter. Stall count mounting. Here. Shot not quite past the line. Here. That one still not past the line. Bad skid. And the D comes by Decran in heroic form. And now he's shot deep. Trying to do it all. Decran get the D and the shot, but the D comes the other way as well.
An incredible D by Christoph Schäufler there.
Back in play. Bad skid. Get the under. And that one goes almost to ground, but hits in the hand of Volk. And there is a stoppage upfield.
I think there's a discussion about whether or not that disc was up. Decran is pretty sure it was, and it looks like he probably had the best perspective. So we're back in.
Wide around Here. Here.
Pit call on him, I believe. On.
How would you say the name of number 45 on bad skid?
Tobias Here.
Here. Here.
That's good.
Here. That's the best I got for you. Here with the disc.
Yeah, another pick. But not on Here this time.
And Danny Simone's correcting or having a laugh at my pronunciation of potentially one of his brothers or family members, as I had called Simeon a couple times over the course of the first half. And we're back with bad skid, trying to lead an offensive charge out of their own end. Here gets it without having to go to ground, which facilitates the next throw. Chance fakes the up and over and back to Here. Chance again. Ooh, floaty. Not enough. That one goes to ground off the hands of Volk, but it was a throwing error to begin with.
Oh,
There's
there
the big
is.
shot. Decran is there. If it stays in, he's going to be there, but that's if it stays in is a big question there. That hit high on the fence. Would have traveled another 15 meters probably. Oh, and end zone pass error. Volk drops on either end during this possession, and Gentle will slow things down and set up their end zone O. Van de Weg. Veriken. Van de Berg. Straight in and celebrated by Van de Wood. And there's a whole lot of Vanda somethings on this Gentle team. When in doubt, Vanda it out.
Van does a will, there's a way. So yeah, another very long, very turn-filled point, and this time it is Gentle that comes out on the winning end of a long point. Bad Skid had their turn. They're very sportingly letting Gentle have their turn. So not tied up at 4s. We're now at 5-3. And we'll see here again a lot of jinking and jiving from Van der Wood at the front, and then jubilation, another kick spike. He likes his kick spikes, doesn't he?
Just don't bend the disc.
Just don't bend the disc.
PJ de Mulignare coaching with Gentle. Still has been unable to find the energy to return to action after a bout with COVID. But he would be a great addition to this team, hoping they get him back. Bad Skid. Jacket deep Boyton-Mueller, but right into the hands of the defender, De Stoop. Simons with the disc, and he puts it in between two of his teammates, and Bad Skid have the right to pick it up off the turf because of it. Grains. Reinert to Boyton-Mueller.
Little discussion about positioning and where it should go back to.
Reinert gets the under. Popped over top by Mueller. Volar saw space in the end zone. I thought he was going to go to Hartman in that corner, but instead centers to Schall. Mueller, great cut there. Good direction change. Reinert now. Steady as they go. Back to Mueller. Boyton-Mueller. Mueller. Stoppage of play. Foul on some contact in the coming out of the stack, it seems.
Quite a physical game so far.
Physical games all over. The 3-3 game we saw, La Fota Wall City, is a thing of the past. La Fota has scored 4 in a row, and it's 7-3 now.
Oh, that's sad.
Clapham KFK in a tight one still. Clapham up by 1-5-4 at the moment. So it is very, very likely that those 4 teams will cross over in opposite fashion, and we will see La Fota KFK or Wall City Clapham, everything to be confirmed as we go. Mueller. Mueller for goal, not quite in. Hartman. Gets his dump to Mueller. Vola. Not a lot of movement out of the stack. Here comes a cut, but it's well blocked on the around, and the inside too far in.
There were shouts there for the cuts to come from the front of the stack, and it just seemed like there was a bit of hesitation, and then the IO came too late, bounced off the hands.
Gentle from their own end.
Oof.
Here come, entering into the midfield section. A little bit of contact on that mark, and by a little bit, I mean a lot. De Stoop centers to Cotton. Oh, just get around the defense. Shot for goal or for turf, one of the two. That time turf.
That was coming down very fast, and it's one of those times where the wind just pushes the disc down before you're expecting it to, and when the angle is that steep, it becomes very hard to read. So yet another long point I think we are settling in for here. Everybody get comfortable. We're not going anywhere.
And well, should be noted, we are very comfortable. We have upgraded our booth with rolling chairs. We brought in a floor, being well taken care of here in Bologna for our Media City setup. Mueller and the bad skid attack go the other way. They try to do it in one shot. Boyt-Mueller there. Schall gets his hands on it. Boyt-Mueller for continuation, and Voller wide open continuation. But the defense also there, and that one thrown too early and goes away. Squandered opportunity.
Vollmer just hitting the floor in frustration. You could see exactly where he wanted that disc to go, or rather his player to go. I think that's Schall there. But Schall just not quite ready for it, not able to get himself together in time.
And here comes the Belgian attack. Full field in front of them. And they're going to try and do it in one shot, too. De Craan is there. And well thrown early. Just almost enough time for Boyt-Mueller to catch up, but not quite. It's Willems who cashes in the goal, and Gentle pulling ahead now, 6-3.
Huge play from Willems, absorbing a lot of contact on that play, going up very high to grab that disc out of the sky. We'll see, this is a throw from essentially end zone to about the brick mark, and then it pops up he goes, staggering a little bit on the way down, but still collecting. We even get it from a different angle too, lucky you. So well read by De Craan, and then immediately saw that Willems had those couple of steps and floats one out for him to make a spectacular play on. So it looks like Gentle are starting to pull away a little bit. Now I know that saying starting to pull away after a certain game that we we saw yesterday on the stream, leads mean nothing at this point. You can be 3 points ahead, you can be 9 points ahead, and doesn't seem to make much difference in some situations.
12-point runs are possible.
we know this.
We've seen it happen. So have you. We know you were watching that one. Our beloved viewers hanging on to every poll in this game. Our games this weekend, this tournament. That one rolls around. That gets a puller's roll. Defense there for the second throw. Mueller says, no bother. I'm jacking it. That one hangs, and De Craan can get there. Hartman says foul. Was never going to be an easy read the way it came down wobbly.
It did look like he had some hands on it. I think De Craan might have been arguing that his hand got in front of it before. We'll get a little bit of amateur dramatics there.
Yeah, their wrists touched. How much that affected how dramatic is to be told. Toby De Craan happy to give some smiles to the camera there while we work it out with his brother and Hartman.
So uncontested foul.
Nice switch on the defense. Happy to see that. Hartman gets to Reina. Mueller has some space. Schall still not in, but centered right on the doorstep. 1.5 meters out. Reinert goes 2 directions, recollects. Still looking only forward now. Looks at Schall, but right back. Engages, and that was a late engagement. I was going to say he was not committing and pay the price because of it.
There was some really, really tough dump defense from De Craan, face marking the dump, not allowing Reinert to get anything out. So in a last kind of desperate bid for the score, he turns around, but too little, too late.
Shot deep. That one's hanging. No, watch the fence. And they catch their bodies rather than lay out. And I think that is good for everyone.
That's a great sprint from De Vrient, though, who was really, really gunning for it. Excellent sprinter's form.
So, bad skid, Nico Müller. Another one of the very elite in Europe in this tournament, at this elite invite. A player always to watch. His agility and cutting speed, sensational always. Müller, Hartmann, Reinert, Müller to Hartmann. Static looking offense out of bad skid, and that one thrown off angle, and they get away with it. Pritsch gets it to Müller. Offense resets upfield, and Reinert all alone catches it at the shins for the goal. It's 4-6 now, behind by 2, still in favor of Gentle.
Reinert had been taking De Vrient for a couple of shuttle runs, kind of deep then under, and I think it got to a point where De Vrient was like, yeah, I don't think they're going to throw this shot, and that was all they needed. So we'll see it again there. Reinert is sneaking deep. De Vrient notices much too late, and another shoelace untying snag for bad skid means they are still trying to cling on to the hem of Gentle's retreating cape. So 6-4, as you heard it. I wonder if we'll see a zone at any point. Wind is certainly gusting.
I mean, the weather would suggest it's not an absurd tactic to try at this stage. I mean, defense is working. there are turnovers coming. Do they need to make them come in a different manner? Why not? Offenses need to sharpen up against these conditions. And what just happened, Ali? Are you somehow inside the brains of the bad skid playbook? They've come out in a puppy fence, a 1-3-2-1 zone, and they're putting some pressure on the throwers now, taking away swings, trying to trap, effectively trapping until that moment. Now they've got through, but the zone has reset. Van de Ved. Oh. Oosterlink, Van de Ved. Van de Ved goes deep. De Vrient there. Müeller's there. The sideline is there as well. And the pass is incomplete.
So certainly making Gentle work for it there. Quite a smothering zone, but Gentle able to break through it for a few passes at least. Unable to then get further. We'll see if he kicks the cone again. Nope, still there.
Oh, and Miss Reed, please report to the office. This one, back in Van de Weg. Verreken. Van de Weg. Two-player game. They should have let somebody else play because that one gets ahead, and Reinert and Bad Skid get going the other way. Hiller. Bid by Toby. Interception, layout D, straight into the guts of his receiver, Oosterlink, and continued for the goal. Are we going to get another kick spike from Van de Voet?
No, he's just going to throw it up into the air. What an incredible layout from De Vrient. Then gets up, cool as you please, throws the hockey assist. Gentle just changing tack so quickly, and the Bad Skid defense not able to change mentality fast enough. Wow, look at that.
Huck spike. I prefer a kick spike to a huck spike. They knocked that one right out of play.
Well, it looks like a timeout is going to be called, presumably by Bad Skid, to try and see if there's a way they can stop the... oh no, hang on, we're past 45 minutes, so this may be half.
This is our halftime break. Gentle take the half. Timed halftime, 7-4. We'll be back soon with second half action.
The ultimate things in life are free, and we're keeping it that way. Subscribe to keep up with the latest games, tournaments, and community content. Share it with your team and friends, and drop a like to help spread Ultimate to more people. Spread the word, spread the love. Ultimate.tv.
Second half action, and that pull goes out of bounds and bounces funny off of the fence.
No zone defense from Gentle. They're sticking with match. Even though the wind is continuing to rustle the trees and the Eurodisc flags.
Reinert. And we do have a little bit of a zone front, actually, out of Gentle here. They have a 3-player front, seemingly cup, and they've just melted out of it into a match D. Hartman with the disc now. But screaming upline cut from Nico Mueller, straight in for goal. Reinert there, and they cash in quick into the second half.
And there's a call.
Nothing can be that quick.
So, looks like a pick call on Reinert. Though he is still very free.
Lander de Craan catches up to his defensive assignment. Schall with the disc. Floaty for Boyton Mueller, but he still hangs on. Goes outside, wide open in the end zone as Hartman and Bad Skid get it on their second crack at it.
Yep. After that stoppage, still able to continue with the flow. It almost looked like he could have hit Reinert again, but that is exactly, of course, what the defense would have been expecting. So instead, chose to swing it over to the other side of the pitch. This looked like it could have been a hard catch to execute, but well collected. And then a simple break. Bad Skid, keeping it within 2. Gentle now looking to try and extend their lead. Scoring here would put them 3 points up once more. It was interesting from Gentle. They set up around the vert stack in what looked like a match formation, and then immediately went into their zone, and then transitioned out of it a few passes later.
Love a good zone transition. Very handy in today's age of Ultimate to be able to take away the pull play, take away the huck, but then still be able to have the full field pressure of a match D. As the point goes on, and Van de Veek not happy with himself. Bad skid with a very short field. Opportunity for an easy break. Hege. Nothing easy, of course, as Muller dances and then gets rewarded for his dance moves. Hege with the goal. Bad skid, break again, bring it within one. It's 6-7 here in Bologna.
They are so hyped about that, and they're all giving voice to their excitement, culminating in a shout from the many German throats, and they are extremely excited about that one. We'll see it again here. Some fantastic dump defense, but not able to shut down everything. And then Herre steaming up the line, stretches out to catch it. Well, maybe we are seeing a bit of a momentum shift here. So we'll see how this Bad Skid team choose to take advantage of that momentum. It looks like they've got a couple, indeed most of the same line that were just on. It was quite a short point. And if the D line is hot, put them on again. Let them stoke their flames, burn until there's nothing left. Herre calling for the rest of his team to help their defense from the sideline.
Good reconnaissance, spy work there, listening to the German calls and relaying them to you in English. The multilingualism of Ali Thomas. Van de Veek, the kick spiker himself, gets involved there. Van de Vood and de Verreken. Van de Veek. De Kraan looked off, not happy about it. Defense melting to match after taking away the huck play with their wall. Again, a defense that we see more and more frequently at the elite end of this sport.
Just a little bit of a trip there, but we're back in play after foul was uncontested.
And so we're just getting score updates now. Clapham also getting a little bit of breathing room. It's 9-6 for them above KFK, so 3 points. And La Fota has just put the foot down, 12-5 over Wall City. So after a close start, that one is one-sided.
Ooh, retracted foul on the mark.
Van de Beek gets the pass away. Verreken gets his underneath to Oosterlink. Toby de Kraan. Ooh, nice hands to get that, keep that one off the ground. Oosterlink as he goes to ground. Verreken. Oh, too floaty defense there first. Second effort, and he was hit hard. And no chance for the second effort. A foul could have been called there, but it wasn't. And 13, the first man to get there by far. Schaufele. And oh, bounced out of bounds, layout D. And there's a conversation. There's all sorts of contact in every which way in the last couple plays.
Yeah, definitely a tangle of limbs going on there. We'll see if the conversation can untangle exactly what has happened. A little bit of explaining. Gosh, yeah, just kind of bouncing and rolling both the disc and the two players involved. So we'll see what the call culminates in. Looks like a retracted call. Very, very good spirit so far this game. Lots of retracted calls, players helping each other up off the floor. Really, really nice to see.
Van de Weg puts it into play. The first throw handler for this offense. Now he's jacked it deep. 2 men under it, but the defender, Hiller, in much better position. But that one gets away. Second effort denied. Great play there for the denial by Van de Weg to jump between the 2 German receivers.
Oof.
Van de Weg hangs on. That one, the around gets to midfield. De Crane engages Van de Weg. Doesn't like the space, but gets it the second time.
You can see Gentle with their hands on their knees, lots of chests moving rapidly. They are all quite puffed.
Working hard in this long point now. Giving up 2 breaks, a third could come with a heartbreak. But De Crane goes deep, fuses there over his head and some. And Bad Skid have one more chance at that potential third break.
It's sometimes, and I've been there myself, seeing a wide open player in the end zone, what should be an incredibly easy throw, is just comes out completely misjudged because you're so excited at the thought of a score that you don't focus on your throw properly. So I think a case of that plus the wind not aiding matters. So kicking the cone out of the way once again.
Hani gets it in, but hot hands required to hang on. Small space there for Beutenmüller. Hiller gets the continuation. Now riding this near sideline all the way up the field. Now centering. Hani. Oh, the backhand block was going to be there if he released, but he held off. Defensive switch there. Beutenmüller with the disc. He goes around to Hani. Hani shoots for goal. That one counts. And that is 3 breaks in a row. Will that equal a heartbreak to go with it? It's 7-7 Galaxy if we weren't already in the second half.
Yeah, we've had some technical Galaxies, and this is a non-technical Galaxy. So yeah, a lot of hype coming from the Bad Skid team. It seems like the Gentle defense is just not able to keep up. There were so many open unders down that sideline, and it looks like Gentle is going to take a timeout to see if they can slow down this Bad Skid offense and their defensive role indeed. So while these teams discuss their tactics, we're going to bring you a short break.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, Ultimate TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and fund our work
to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
So to all of those of you who are not watching and are not subscribed, we are trying to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of the month. We are nearly there, that's our goal. So do hit that subscribe button. If you know anybody else who enjoys Live Ultimate who isn't subscribed, do encourage them to do so as well. And if you've been enjoying the coverage so far this weekend and want to help us out financially, you can make a one-time donation on our website, or you can sign up to become a member on our Patreon. Please patronise us, we do enjoy it and it helps us to bring you even better coverage. So for example, at this tournament we only have one pitch being streamed. With more funding, we can bring you more pitches and make sure that more teams get a chance to be on the stream and more fans get a chance to watch their teammates, countrymen, etc. on the stream. And a shout out to some gentle players who are not here. We've got Jörn, Simo, Samirs and Artur. Some of them are at home. One is in Africa. Artur apparently is in Africa. So I hope you're all watching and enjoying. And we are back here with the action, gentle on offense.
Van de Weg, as per regular, Simeon, who's changed his name to Simon. Van de Weg, Simons, looking at this wall in front of them. And they're happy to take a half a meter at a time right now. And now the defense closes and said, well, we can't just let you do that the whole way down the field. Cuts engage, and the offense is off and running. There's a discussion at the release point.
Stall out called.
Stall out called that. I believe that would be a fast count.
I would agree with you there. That seemed awfully quick.
11-7 now. Clapham on the other field, ahead of KFK. 7-11, as they say. Time for a Slurpee in that game.
I don't think there are 7-Elevens in Bologna, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on which way you look at it.
Wow. For lack of Slurpees, it's unfortunate. For all other reasons, probably fortunate.
So it looks like the stall-out call will be retracted, and we will stay with Oosterlink.
Oosterlink. Oh, and Van de Weg takes advantage of that bobble off of the hands of Lander de Cane, but gives it away right away. Muller picks up. He's quick to keep it moving. Hetty shoots for goal. Boydmuller, and they have stormed back 4 in a row, and Gentle are on the ropes, not knowing what to do right now.
And shout out to that incredible block by Yannick Falk. And a team effort from both the mark and the dump mark there, giving them nowhere to go and then forcing that turnover. And then Bad Skid immediately looking towards the goal. Herre shooting it cleanly up the sideline, just into the outstretched hands. And this, there's no other description for this but a D-roll. And Bad Skid seem to be skidding towards victory.
They are on their way. Gentle needs answers. They need some way to stop the bleeding here. They have given up 4 in a row. And if this keeps up, they're going to be feeling maybe not quite as bad as Ranelagh did at the end of their game, but when something slips away, it hurts every time, and this one has slipped away. They've turned the corner. A 3-point lead to a 1-point deficit, and they've got a chance to fix it now. Van de Weg, they reset their offense to combat a zone front again. The zone has been working for Bad Skid ever since Ali recommended it or wondered about it. Varikin. Svats. And a whole bunch of contact. And then Varikin drops another one. Short field. Hede will pick up for Bad Skid. Moved along. Pitch, and he throws it into traffic, and that one will go back into the hands of the Gentle O-line. Wind up Varikin. He has been the more conservative of the handling unit and retains that role as he resets to and from Van de Weg. Veriken again from Van de Weg. Now they go upfield. De Craan is there, and the two brothers De Craan play a bit of a two-brother game, but inefficiently when the shot goes upfield.
Yeah, I think De Craan was certainly gunning it towards the end zone, but the throw was on the wrong side and just too low. I think he only saw it when it was already on the ground. That defensive look from Bad Skid looking like it was putting enough of a spanner in the works for Gentle to make it hard for them and to force them to try and take that longer shot, because they knew that grinding it under was going to put them at more risk of a turn.
Woo! Worm burner there, that one just about at ground, and then decides to give it away after. And that one in front of Hani. Schofler made the play to keep it alive, and then there was a foul on the play to Hani, so he does get to keep that disc. Hani goes deep. De Craan says no, but catch your D's. This time he gets away with it, but
De Craan says maybe. If you really work for it, maybe, but not in that instance.
We thought he was going to say no.
That would have been the right way to do it.
I thought it was a straight-up denial.
Just teasing.
Veriken, Van de Weg. Under is there to Van de Berg. Veriken, Van de Berg. Van de Weg. Veriken. Oh, Toby De Craan had gone the other way. There was an angle there, but not taken. Van de Weg needs a layout to keep it alive, gets a layout to keep it alive. Shot for goal, but shot for Hani, and he celebrates jubilantly for that D in the end zone.
God, I just need a second of that foul call to catch our breath.
Oh no, a dead set drop on the goal line, and brother to brother, they do finally connect. They get that one, and Toby De Craan throws it down in frustration for celebration, but they needed to get that one to get their D-line back on the field.
Yeah, so a lot of sort of heart-stopping moments really in that point. Some incredible plays, some stone-cold drops, and then finally just a little pass, as you said, that familial connection leading to a point that puts a stop to this Bad Skid steamroller here. And we are at 8 apiece. It feels like Bad Skid should be up, really, considering how they've been playing the last few points. But all they've been doing is chipping away at that deficit, that hole that both they and Gentle had put themselves in gradually over the course of this game.
Couple of snowmen on the scoreboard. 8 apiece. It's knotted up. Game of runs. Time running out. About 8 minutes to play before we get a cap indication. And that pull lands in, rolls out before Bad Skid get a chance to go the other way. The Fota game is finished 15-6. They will advance as a 1 seed in the pool to a semifinal. Clapham 14-8 imminently will do the same on the opposite side of the bracket, setting themselves up perhaps to meet in the final. Could that happen, a Clapham La Fota final? Would that be new? Probably no, not that new. We've maybe seen that before. But they will both have to beat the opposition that they both beat in a switch to be able to do that. Mueller, Boynton Mueller, here and now. Bad Skid versus Gentle. Fui Ranelagh getting some updates there. 15-13 Fui. They take one over Ranelagh too. So Ranelagh, after almost taking Clapham, are just being flooded with losses. Schall with the disc. Up line, Reina on the doorstep, pinks it in, finds some space for Beutenmuller. They stay ahead. It's 9-8 Bad Skid.
So a clean hold there for Bad Skid. It's what they need to do. Have their offense just tick the box, put the score in as they know they can do, and then let the D-line get out there, see if they can get a turn and put some breathing space between them and their Belgian opponents. But right now, whatever magic, whatever tactics the Bad Skid offensive line have, it's working. So chance for the defense now to continue putting pressure on the gentlemen.
The gentlemen, of course, want to be able to now hold and do their job to stay in this. And I think for viewers at home that are impartial, that bodes well for the game as well. Of course, those at home who are rooting for their team want no part of that. Just simply my team win, my team score.
Looks like we've got both some gentle supporters and some Bad Skid supporters in the YouTube chat. Hello to all of you.
Nice inside out arcing pull, lands middle of the end zone. I like to see it. And he throws it right to the oncoming traffic, and Hani with the goal, and that one hurts a lot. 10-8. I mean, that was the pull chase. He caught it in the pull chase in full steam, chasing the pull right into his hands. Wowza.
Just look at the speed with which they're coming down the field. There's 3 there and just...
Misthrown completely.
And what about that long jump, that broad jump from Hera? That's the reason that you practice those things, that whoever's in charge of strength and conditioning puts in those broad jumps, because you never know, you might need to jump more than a meter or so into the end zone for a break at a pivotal moment in a game. So I would imagine that D-line is going to be on again with very little by way of change. All they basically did was a sort of 60-meter dash down the end of the pitch and then a big jump from Hera.
I think they've all got the fitness to recover from that point.
I think so too.
Land in, bounce, roll, collected, Varikan. And in their own end zone there, maybe a little bit more hesitancy that time around. Van de Weg, Van de Vood, Van de Weg, Varikan. Nice blade over the top. De Grane gets it. Van de Vood. Gets a continuation, but under duress again. Fuse hangs on, and Hani gets a tip, pick up, and there are upfield action for Bad Skid. They are looking strong. Driver's seat here. That one in and off the hands. That should have counted, but it didn't. A drop in the end zone, and Gentle get a very precious second opportunity. And give it right back. This is unbelievable. They have just let go of any semblance of control in this game, and Bad Skid are in their heads. It is 11-8. It is 7 of the last 8 have gone into the Bad Skid end zone, and they're up by 3, and there's hands on heads and dropped heads. Hands on heads, hands on hips, and dropped heads going back to Gentle as they call a timeout to think if there is any way of getting out of this rut.
It's just, you know, there's drops on both sides. It's not like Bad Skid is playing absolutely perfectly and Gentle is dropping everything. You know, it's just it's working out in Bad Skid's favour. And I do want to shout out, Tobias Herre is absolutely on fire right now. He scored 2 goals in a row. He got the D on the last one just now. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we see that same D-line out again with him on it, because they are absolutely unstoppable, really causing trouble for the Gentle O-line. Despite, the flat arrowhead zone allowing a lot of these lateral passes, after a couple of those have come off, Gentle just, it's on the dump passes. It's on the, they're not difficult to execute throws. Indeed, they're coming down with a lot of these fast, bladey, kind of harder to read throws. It's just, stuff that you maybe think, oh, I've got this, I'm going to think about the next throw, and then before you know it, it's on the floor.
They got to find a way to stop it. They are head down. It's been the same unit they're sticking with. And in a prep tournament, I get that. Like, the O-line needs to find a way for the O-line to recover. They're going to be the team that needs to get you through thick and thin. This is a preparatory tournament. It's the first tournament of the year. They've got to feel the sting. Got to be able to rewatch and feel a bit of shame that comes with it to get those learning lessons. Otherwise, we're certainly at a point where there would be no problem changing up that unit that collects the disc. And in fact, we do see that. There are some new handlers out there. We don't see Van de Weg. We don't see Varikin. Their O-line getting a break, and hopefully the defense can show them how it's done and change up a little bit of this one-sided momentum in the second half of this game. Here they come. De Krane. Zvats gets it, and there was a pick called. Zvats. De Krane, Lander De Krane. Nice inside backhand break. Zvats. Simons. De Krane. Shot for front of end zone, but outside of it. Schwarz. De Krane. Fakes the backhand around. Now goes the backhand around. Van Katham. De Krane, pop, and De Krane catches his own tip and spiked it into the basket defender with no ill intent, but a great second effort. Did he catch his own? Was he marked it last? It doesn't matter if it's not intentional, but I think he was the last to catch it and then recovered, or last to touch it, and did indeed recover his own miss.
There we go.
And he's fired up on the line right now. He's trying to give his team some energy, high fives before he vacates the O-line. Coming in to play D, not necessarily true. I don't think they have explicitly divided lines right now, but Varikin out to play some defense rather than just pull reception.
I think it's a game to 12 now, because we've passed the 80-minute mark during that point. So if Bad Skid can hold their offense, this is will be game for them.
For now, the score 9-11. Emergency. Reinert winds up, sends it. Boynton Mueller's there. Boynton Mueller gets there with a big bid, keeps it alive on the doorstep. Schall with a chance to cash it in, gives back to Boynton Mueller. Boynton Mueller to Mueller. Oh, he almost turned it over in his hands, but keeps it alive. Boynton Mueller again after that spectacular layout to haul in the deep. They're now 5 throws into the end zone offense as Mueller puts on the dance moves again. Mueller goes outside, has Pritch, has the goal, and that's the game, ladies and gentlemen, and other. The improbable comeback has been mounted, and Bad Skid get the job done over Gentle.
What a finish. What a game. That layout was absolutely insane. And then after, I mean, incredible to keep a lid on the excitement and patiently swing the disc round and round until they finally found that opening, cutting from the front of the stack as they were slightly hesitant to do earlier in the game. And it's not the end of the game. We're having another point. Okay, I have no idea what's going on.
Wonderful bit of work, but we're still playing ultimate.
Is cap maybe at 90 then? All right, we've still got points. There's more Frisbee coming to you.
So it is 12-9. The scoreboard still reads. We are playing on. It must be to 13 now. It must be. Varikin gets it back. Gentle have fallen away, had seemingly lost this game, but they're still playing. There is hope if they could pull off the win now, which what seemed unsurmountable. Now they've shot deep. Varikin's there on the other end of the action, and he's hauled in a goal, and not only is the game not over, but they've scored and reduced the deficit with chance to put a little bit more wind into it.
Both teams, I think, playing the calmest and the most clinical they have all game. And I think that's something that the end of a game can do. It can focus your mind really intently on the goal. And of course, the goal is to win. So no more bobbles thus far, no more overthrows. It's game time. This is it.
It's business time. Let's get it done.
So, in theory, a game to 13.
Theoretically. Our theories have been proven wrong once or twice.
They certainly have. They certainly have.
And the pull is up. Bad Skid with a chance to put this one away. Mueller. Hartman. Hartman thought about it, but has a nice under from Boyton Mueller, which he takes instead. Boyton Mueller to Mueller. Mueller to Schall. Back in Mueller's hands. Boyton Mueller. Mueller.
Oof.
Mueller is everywhere right now. He's shot, not in, but Voller on the doorstep. Boyton Mueller got open, but the pass wasn't available. Now the dumps come to Reinert and back into the hands of Mueller. He goes wide around. Schall's going to get there. Still not in, but only by inches. And on the next throw, Voller's there. And at 13-10.
Looks like we're still going.
One would assume that the game would be called, but the game continues. They take the line ready for the next pull.
I think this really is going to be a case where one game ends and the next one immediately begins. So on the schedule coming up, we have Box versus Yaka. They will be on at 1:50. This game will finish on the stroke of 1:50, unless one team gets to 15 first, which I don't think is going to be the case. So we're still here. We're still here. Both teams still with a chance. And both of them looking very confident, very smooth at the moment.
Here's the pull. Van de Veeg settles under. Van de Berg to Van de Weg, working it up. Simons. De Crana wanted a piece of it, was open, but the throw was not available. Van de Weg finds space for Simons. Gets the upfield. Oh, thought the big shot was coming. Now in De Cran's hands, it's a bit more likely, and it is off target. Looking for the kick spiker, Van de Vood.
Van der Vood just loves having it in the end zone and was willing to put his body on the line to try and get a chance to kick spike something, but alas, it was not to be for him today.
Bad skid, coffin corner, own end zone. They get it moving. Jessa, first throw of the game for Jesser, I imagine. Have not seen him with the disc in his hand, and that one gets away from him. Van de Weg. Ooh, that one squeezed through Varikin to De Crana, and Gentle not going away. It's 11-13. We've thought this game was over twice, and yet Gentle still in it, 2 away. 2 away from the tie.
Yes, yes. So
Next.
Gentle deciding that they will not go quietly or gently into the good night. They are still here and still fighting against Bad Skid. Bad Skid looking like they're lacking a tiny bit of energy right now, but we'll see what their O-line can do against the Gentle defense.
Patrick Viding, what do we have against Swedish teams? We have absolutely nothing against Swedish teams. We love Swedish teams. Only one game. That's the way the cookies crumble. We do our best to get as many teams on here as possible. We try and represent. We know that there's one way that you could help. You could donate a Patreon amount in their name, and then there is a guaranteed stream for the team of your choice if you make the Patreon donation in the team amount, and that can be, please just send us an email and we'll let you know how to make that happen and support a team and get them on the stream. Boydmuller makes that play over everybody, and Bad Skid want to finish this one officially, and we think that would happen here, but it's possible they could have to go to 15, and we'll play till next week. For now, Reinitz got the disc. Hartman. Reinert. Hartman. 10 meters out. The stack very static, giving all sorts of space to the 3-player game. Mueller, Hartman. Now there's space on the break side. Oh, and the D comes through everything. It was in Pritch's hand. He's going to say there was a foul, even though the man who may have fouled him is coming up injured. Tough to call the foul on the injured player.
Yeah, I mean, that's the case where dangerous play is meant to be disregard for the, the safety of others and your own. You know, any play that puts yourself in danger should not be made. And that looks like it's an uncontested strip, which will result in a goal. And that, I believe, 3rd time's the charm, is the end of this match. So we have 2 minutes until our next game, which will be from the women's division, Box against Jeuken.
And we will be right back with that action with Ali Thomas. I've been Steph Rapazzo. Thank you for joining us right here on Alti TV. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back with more action.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, Alti TV, the best in the world.
Become a member
and fund our work to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Ultimate.tv.